specific examples of prototyping using those problem areas we've been discussing: education, healthcare, and the environment.
Sounds good.
Remember that challenge we talked about earlier, making online learning more engaging for remote students? What might a prototype for a solution in this area look like?
Let's say we're developing a new online learning platform that uses virtual reality to create immersive and interactive learning experiences. A low-fidelity prototype could be as simple as a storyboard.
A storyboard, like, what they use in movies and TV shows.
Exactly. You could basically create a visual representation of the different scenes and interactions within the virtual environment.
So like a comic book version of the learning experience. I love that. It's a simple but effective way to visualize the flow and the key elements of the platform.
Exactly. And as we get more feedback and refine our ideas, we could create a higher fidelity prototype using a VR development platform like Unity or Unreal Engine.
Oh, wow. So you could actually create a virtual world that people could step into and experience.
Exactly. This would allow us to create a more realistic and interactive experience that we could then test with real users.
That's awesome. I can already imagine how engaging and immersive that would be. It would be like stepping into a whole new world of learning.
Exactly. And that's the power of prototyping. It allows you to bring your ideas to life in a way that you can actually experience and interact with.
Okay, let's shift gears to healthcare. We talked about the potential of AI to revolutionize medical diagnosis and treatment. What might a prototype for an AI-powered healthcare solution look like?
Imagine we're developing an AI system that can analyze medical images like X-rays or CT scans to detect early signs of cancer. A low-fidelity prototype could involve using a simple image recognition algorithm to analyze a small set of sample images.
So, like a proof of concept to see if the basic idea is feasible.
Exactly. And as we gather more data and refine our algorithms, we could move towards a higher fidelity prototype that incorporates machine learning techniques and can analyze a much larger and more diverse data set.
It's amazing to think that we can now train AI systems to perform tasks that were once only possible for, highly trained medical professionals.
It's truly remarkable. And as these AI systems become more sophisticated, they have the potential to revolutionize healthcare by making diagnosis faster, more accurate, and more accessible to people around the world.
Okay, let's wrap up with the environment. We talked about the urgent need for sustainable solutions to reduce our impact on the planet. What might a prototype for an environmentally friendly product look like?
Let's say we're developing a new type of reusable food wrap made from beeswax and organic cotton. A low-fidelity prototype could involve creating samples of the wrap using different ratios of beeswax and fabric to test their effectiveness, durability, and clinginess.
So it's about experimenting with different materials and techniques to find that optimal combination of functionality and sustainability.
Exactly. And you could even get feedback from potential users by having them test out the prototypes in their own kitchens, share their thoughts on things like ease of use, cleaning overall satisfaction.
I love that idea. It's about bringing real people into the design process and incorporating their feedback from the very beginning.
Absolutely. And as you refine your prototype, you could move towards higher fidelity versions that involve, more sophisticated manufacturing techniques and packaging designs, getting you closer and closer to a market-ready product.
As we're talking about all these different prototyping techniques, I'm realizing that it's not just about the physical creation of a prototype, it's also about the mindset and the approach you bring to the process.
You're so right. Prototyping is all about embracing experimentation, iteration, and willingness to learn from your mistakes. It's about being okay with things not being perfect right away and understanding that the process of prototyping is just as valuable as the final product.
So it's about having that growth mindset, being open to feedback, and constantly striving to improve.
Exactly. And it's also about being resourceful and creative. You don't need a fancy lab or expensive equipment to prototype your ideas. You can use everyday materials, found objects, even digital tools to bring your visions to life.
It's so empowering. It means that anyone can be a prototyper, regardless of their background or resources.
Absolutely. And the more you prototype, the more confident and comfortable you'll become with the process. It's like any skill, the more you practice, the better you get.
Well, this deep dive into the world of design thinking has been truly eye-opening. We've explored the power of collaboration, the importance of scalability, the need for efficient project management, the crucial role of impact evaluation, the art of prototyping.
It's been a fantastic journey. And I think the key takeaway here is that design thinking is not just a set of tools or techniques, it's a mindset, a way of approaching challenges and finding creative solutions.
It's about being curious, empathetic, and experimental. It's about embracing the messiness of the process and understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone to it.
And most importantly, it's about using your creativity and ingenuity to make a positive impact on the world.
Well said. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a challenge. Think about a problem that you're passionate about solving, something that keeps you up at night. Now, take a few minutes to brainstorm some potential solutions. Don't worry about being perfect or having all the answers. Just let your ideas flow.
And once you have a few ideas, grab a pen and paper or open up your favorite design tool and start sketching out some rough prototypes. Remember, the goal is not to create a masterpiece, but to get your ideas out of your head and into the world, where you can test them, refine them, make them even better.
And who knows, maybe that simple prototype will be the first step towards creating something truly amazing, something that makes a real difference in the world.
That's the power of design thinking. It all starts with a spark of an idea and the courage to bring it to life.
So go out there, be bold, be curious, and start creating. Until our next deep dive, keep those creative sparks flying. Okay, so last time we were talking about prototyping, and it just seems like such a crucial part of this whole design thinking process.
It really is. It's where you get to move beyond the theoretical, beyond just brainstorming, and actually start bringing your ideas to life.
It's like, the rubber meets the road.
Exactly. And it's not just for engineers or product designers anymore. Prototyping can be applied to almost any kind of challenge, whether you're designing a new app, a new service, or even, a new way of doing things within your organization.
So it's about making your ideas tangible, creating something that you can actually interact with and test out in the real world.
Exactly. And it's about getting feedback early and often so you can refine your ideas and make sure you're on the right track.
So let's dive into some specific examples of what prototyping might look like in those problem areas we've been talking about. Education, healthcare, and the environment.
Sounds good.
Remember that challenge we discussed earlier about making online learning more engaging for remote students? What would a prototype for a solution in that area look like?
Let's say we're developing a new online learning platform that uses virtual reality to create those really immersive learning experiences.
Ooh, virtual reality. That sounds cool.
Right. But we don't need to jump into building a full-blown VR experience right away. A low-fidelity prototype for this could be something as simple as a storyboard.
A storyboard, like, what they use for movies.
Exactly. You could basically create a visual representation of like the different scenes and interactions that a student might experience within this virtual learning environment.
So it's like a comic book version of the platform, showing the different steps a student might take and the different things they might encounter along the way.
You got it. And it's a quick and easy way to get a sense of the flow and the key elements of the platform without having to invest a ton of time and resources into building the actual VR experience.
That makes sense. And then as you get feedback and refine your ideas, you can gradually move towards those higher fidelity prototypes that are closer to the final product.
Exactly. And eventually, you could create a more realistic and interactive experience using a VR development platform.
And then you can actually have real students test it out and give you feedback, which is so valuable.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's switch gears to healthcare. We talked about the potential of AI to really revolutionize the way we diagnose and treat diseases. What might a prototype for an AI-powered diagnostic tool look like?
Let's imagine we're developing an AI system that analyzes skin lesions. So like to detect early signs of skin cancer.
Okay, yeah, skin cancer is a big one. Early detection is so important.
Exactly. So a low fidelity prototype for this could be a website or maybe even a simple app.
An app so people could use it on their phones. That's super accessible.
Right. And it could allow users to, upload photos of their skin and then receive an initial assessment based on like a basic image recognition algorithm.
So it's not meant to replace a doctor's diagnosis, but it's like a first pass that could help people identify potential issues and then encourage them to, go see a doctor if they need to.
Exactly. It's about raising awareness and encouraging early detection.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then, as you gather more data and refine those AI algorithms, you can gradually move towards a higher fidelity prototype that incorporates more sophisticated analysis and maybe even personalized recommendations.
Exactly. You're constantly refining and improving as you go.
Okay, let's wrap up with the environment. We talked about the urgent need for sustainable solutions to, reduce our impact on the planet. What might a prototype for an eco-friendly product look like?
Okay, let's say we're developing a new type of reusable food wrap. as an alternative to plastic wrap.
Oh, like those beeswax wraps that are becoming popular?
Yeah, exactly. So a low fidelity prototype for this could involve like actually creating samples of the wrap. You could use different ratios of beeswax and say organic cotton fabric.
And then you could test them out to see like how effective they are at keeping food fresh, how durable they are, how easy they are to clean, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And you could get feedback from potential users by having them actually try out the prototypes in their own kitchens.
That's a great idea. It's about getting real-world feedback from the people who would actually be using the product.
Absolutely. And then as you refine the design and the materials, you can move towards those higher fidelity prototypes that are closer to, a mass-produced product.
So whether you're prototyping a virtual reality learning platform, an AI-powered diagnostic tool, or an eco-friendly food wrap, it's really all about bringing those ideas to life in a tangible way and then getting feedback and iterating along the way.
That's it. It's about embracing that process of experimentation and continuous improvement.
Well, this deep dive into the world of design thinking has been incredibly eye-opening. We've covered so much ground, from the power of collaboration to the importance of impact evaluation to the art of prototyping. And it's clear that design thinking is not just for designers, it's for anyone who wants to solve problems and make a positive impact on the world.
I completely agree. It's a mindset, a way of approaching challenges that can be applied to any field, any problem, really.
And it all starts with that willingness to be curious, to experiment, to embrace failure as a learning opportunity, and to remember that even the smallest idea, if nurtured and developed, can have a ripple effect and create positive change.
Beautifully said. So, to our listeners, keep those ideas flowing, keep experimenting, keep pushing the boundaries. The world needs your creativity and your passion to solve the challenges we face.
And remember, even the most complex problems can be tackled one step at a time, one prototype at a time. So go out there, make a difference, and we'll see you on our next deep dive.